Welcome to the Jon Harrison podcast. Statistics show us that about 70% of people are disengaged in the workplace. Obviously, that affects bottom lines of companies, individual, their own engagement at work, but also affects families and communities. We don't want to just be frustrated about things that are going on in the workplace or in the world. We want to do something about it. So we're going to talk about this while others aren't, and we hope you will join us on this journey. Welcome back to the Jon Harrison podcast. This is John. I've got Madeline, Melissa, and Christy around the table. So this is tying back into some previous episodes that we had, but I just wanted to hit this one. This will be a short episode, but this just came to my mind that I think this is something that would benefit all of us, regardless of where we are in the organization. Let me start off by saying when you were all teenagers, you probably assumed your parents didn't, quote, get it. They were out of touch. They didn't know what it felt like to be 18 or 16, and you go, when I'm a parent, I'm going to do things so much differently. But then something happens, and we've seen it with our girls, maybe 21 and above, they start looking at things a little differently. And we made plenty of mistakes as parents, so don't take this the wrong way. But sometimes your 24-year-old children will go, oh, I kind of see now why they may have said that or done that. And especially now when our kids have kids now, you can see their perspectives changing a little bit. So what's the point of that in terms of knowing your people and diversity of people? I think we have to be careful in the workplace that we get jaded and we think that every decision, procedure, change, anything that happens above us, that they just don't get it. The executive team doesn't get it. They're out of touch. They're purposely doing this stuff to just ruin our lives. And I mean, I'm telling you, I saw it because I've obviously started off at a lower level. I ended up at a higher level. And I think star employees have to be real careful about that. You can question things. You can be frustrated. Yes, it's just where do you share that frustration? But I guarantee you, and I always say this, I promise you your executive team doesn't get together in the morning and go, how can we do things to irritate our people and suck water out of their bottles and annoy them? I'm not saying that's not happening, but most of the time, 99%, it's not intentional. So you as an employee just realizing that, and because we can so easily get down that path where we spiral down, and everything that's done, again, it's not even the executive team, it just could be your supervisor. Just being careful that we don't have that mindset of a teenager, perhaps, of they're out to get us, and they don't know what they're talking about. So I don't know if that makes sense, but...
Yeah, absolutely. So actually living in that world now with an 18-year-old and a almost 17-year-old in 2 weeks, whatever I say is stupid, right? But then somebody else 5 minutes later can say the exact same thing and it makes perfect sense, which makes me think sometimes about leadership. There are times that they're making decisions for things that will impact us 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and they're just putting those parameters in place now. And because we don't always have the full picture, we don't understand all of the whys behind it, and we'll buck up against it instead of either one, asking a clarifying question, or two, just saying, hey, let's just try it and see what happens. There's so many times I'm on Madison where I'm begging her, please just try it. Just try and see if it works. Just try the pants on and see if they fit, right? Well, our leaders are essentially saying the same thing to us. They're saying, here's the new policy. Here's the procedure. We're going to try it, see if it works, see if it fits. If it doesn't, we can always make adjustments, but we don't even realize we're the teenager kind of stomping our feet and rolling our eyes to leadership. So I think that was a great way to set that up, and we want to make sure that we're willing to try it on, see if this policy works. And also tell them, hey, if there's a part that's not working, what is your suggestion on how to fix it instead of just always tearing it down? And I think we can get into a rut of this is how we've always done it. And if we do that, we'll miss out on so many opportunities to do it better.
Well, I've told people, that's great, Christy. I've told people if you owned your own business, I don't care if it was a little business with 3 people, and one of your people kept saying, that's not going to work, stupid, told you it wasn't going to work, you're not sitting at home going, I think I want to give that person more responsibility because I just love their perspective. Now, to your point, let's try it. I want the person to go, hey, that policy that we implemented, most of it's good, but this other piece is really clunky. And I think that is a totally different mindset than just getting into that kind of stomping around, it's not going to work thing. And I know some of you go, hey, you don't know my situation. I've been working here and it's terrible, and I get that. But ultimately, you're responsible for yourself. And just realize, even if you're in that mindset where you think everything people above you do is stupid, if you're poisoning other people on that, that's not good.
Yeah, and if you do have a different perspective or you are frustrated with what's happening, right, realize that there's always a way to approach or couch those conversations so that they don't seem rude or offensive or, something to that effect. And so bouncing those ideas off of someone else before you bring it to leadership, I think, is a great place to start, just so you can kind of check your emotions and check your thoughts at the door before you go to that. But also, kind of, we talk a lot about peeling back the onion and getting to know people and why they're different and how they're different and their upbringing and all that. It's kind of the reverse of that. Similar to what you were saying, Christy, but just seeking to understand why leadership is making changes and asking those questions in an inquisitive way so that you can understand and maybe even become the voice to other employees who are equally frustrated by the changes that are happening. So it's still peeling back the onion, but from the different perspective and just seeking to understand from a general perspective.
That's a really good point, Melissa. And I was thinking too, as you were saying that, if there's a certain, maybe it's your upper management or there's things in the past that they've done that have made you have that distrust and just turn down everything, maybe kind of thinking back to those times and trying to let go of some of that like resentment that you're holding on to, because there's probably a reason why you feel like everything they bring that they want to change about the company, the process, or whatever it is we're talking about, like there's a reason that you're turning your nose up at it. And so trying to dig deep on that, because that's not a good place to live in at work or at home,
That's a great point.
We've talked about buzzwords, and another one we'll throw out is workplace trauma. Like, people don't realize that they've had traumatic experiences that have happened at work, and now they're triggered. And because they've held on to it, they've rehearsed it, they've told all the new people about it, even though it happened 15 years ago, right? Yes. So to your point, realizing that self-reflection and then letting that go so that you are open to see, okay, is this really a good policy, or am I just so upset because this is the same person that did X 10 years ago that I won't even give it a chance to work?
No, that's good. And I think I'll just end with this. That's also good. I think we live in a society now, social media hasn't helped, that everyone's an expert on everything. And we sit and we think we can do, obviously in politics, we think we've got it all figured out and we can do it better than the person that's in the mayor's seat or the governor's seat or the president's seat. But I love, like, even in sports, and, Christy knows this because she has a daughter that plays basketball, but parents sit and they watch and they go, I know, I could coach this team. Like, I can't believe the coach did that. Now, I'm not saying fans of sports don't have good ideas. I'm not saying that, because I've done a little bit of that myself sitting in my recliner. I would have done that. But I think we are so quick now to go, well, if I was coaching that team, and I told Jen just the other day, I would love to pick somebody that said that and go, you now get to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys this next season, and when they went 0-16, which would probably happen, they'd get a different perspective of what it's like to be a coach or a parent or a supervisor or a CEO. And I think it's so easy nowadays to just blast people that are in the spotlight, whether they're celebrities or pastors, or I don't care who it is. And not only can we blast them, we can say it, and it shows up on a Facebook post or a social media post. And now if I say could do a better job of coaching this team, and Madeline and Melissa and Christy like my comment, and they go, you're right, you should coach this team, Jon Harrison, because you're so smart. Now I'm getting fueled by that. And so again, I'm not trying to be over-dramatize this stuff, but if you are a person at work that criticizes everyone around you for the decisions they make, you are not likely ever going to be in the position to make those decisions going forward. So it doesn't mean there's not bad stuff going down and poor decisions and all that, but you really have to just watch that perspective, I think.
That's so true, Jon. Well, thank you for sharing this, guys, and we hope that our listeners got something from it, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for joining us today on the Jon Harrison podcast. As you know, we believe that a positive work culture creates a ripple effect that extends into families and communities. If you found anything of value in today's episode, please share it with somebody so they can hear it as well. And if you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, please fill out the form below.